Hi, everyone. I'm Anne Marie Green. Well, Fox News has reportedly decided to cut ties with Bill O'Reilly. New York Magazine's Gabe Sherman reports that Fox News is now deciding how to sever ties before O'Reilly's scheduled return on April 24th. Sources tell Sherman that Fox executives are interviewing possible replacements today. Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Anna Werner, who has been following this story. So, Anna, I guess the first question is just what do you make of these latest developments?
Well, this was sort of the question that was, in the room, right? What was happening? Gabriel Sherman obviously has been sort of leading a lot of the coverage on this with his sources. And it sounds like, from what he's hearing, that they are definitely working on replacing O'Reilly. There was all this, he was talking about this division between the father, Rupert Murdoch, and the sons, and which direction they wanted it to go, with reporting by Sherman that Rupert Murdoch was in favor perhaps of keeping O'Reilly, that the sons were pushing more toward not keeping O'Reilly. And of course, Fox had said that after their chairman, Roger Ailes, resigned amid similar allegations, which he denied, that they were going to have a zero-tolerance policy on sexual harassment.
Right.
And so I'm sure that had to come up in the conversation, after the New York Times reported, of course, that Bill O'Reilly had settled several lawsuits with women over sexual harassment, that very same issue.
Yeah, and I know that advertisers for the O'Reilly factor were bailing, but do you know whether or not viewers were bailing as well?
What I had read anyway, and I don't have his viewer numbers, but what I had read was that his viewership had not declined. And the advertisers, however, you've got 50 advertisers, somewhere around in that number, that decided we're not going to advertise on the show anymore. Clearly, they didn't want to be associated with someone who potentially was, subject to, in fact, protests out in front of Fox News headquarters.
Right.
That's not something advertisers want to be known as supporting. So they all ditched the show. May have gone to other shows on Fox, mind you. There's still a question there as to how much money.
Whether or not Fox News actually lost money.
How much money did they really lose?
Right.
And I don't know if they've been public with those figures, but something interesting that I just got off the phone with an attorney in Washington, D.C., who specializes in these sexual harassment cases. Her name is Linda Correa. And what she basically is saying, that we were talking about the zero tolerance policy idea, and she says, well, and this coming from somebody who who sues, companies, is saying, whenever I've seen, she says, zero tolerance, it doesn't really mean anything, because typically, in her experience, they try to protect their people who are rainmakers within a company. And a lot of times they will try to keep things quiet. Now, in this case, this has all gone public, blown out way into the public sphere. But still, she said, for them, she really believes it's still going to come down to an economic and political decision.
Really?
So if they have decided to boot him off Fox Network, what are the economic issues they felt they were dealing with potentially? Another question, what are the political realities they may have felt like they were dealing with? Has he in fact become insupportable? And of course, we have not confirmed this independently. Yeah. We're looking right now at just what we're hearing from Gabriel Sherman. But
well, if it comes down to economics, we know, or at least it's been reported, that Fox News has been willing to spend an awful lot of money to keep him. At least that's the reports, right?
It seems to me there's sort of a question of the tipping point.
Right.
In any one of these situations, where is the tipping point where it goes from this side where they have been and
making payments, allegedly paying off
and
people,
tilts over, and they have protesters in front of Fox News headquarters in Manhattan, right? They have attorneys like Lisa Bloom, who just came out with another anonymous, but another alleged anonymous victim yesterday, who said that she was subject to comments and sexual harassment allegedly by Bill O'Reilly. Again, he and his attorney deny that.
Right.
But and they're protesting those claims.
Right.
But still, you have that attorney who I saw on Twitter, Lisa Bloom, saying, Murdoch's, I'm keeping this up. I'm not giving this up. So
paying their own attorneys.
Right. I mean, how much sustained pressure can you endure when you are, especially a media company like that, and the public discussion of this just keeps on percolating,
exactly,
for weeks to come?
Yeah.
And at some point, somebody's got to make a decision. Where's the tipping point?
Right.
So maybe, if this is an indication, that may mean they've reached the tipping point and it's tipped over the other direction.
We will find out. Right now, just reports out there, but that is certainly the discussion. Anna Werner, thank you very much.
You're welcome.